Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and we're outside a house flip we've been working on for a little while. This one has had some delays, but we are working through those. Just in general, since coronavirus hit, we just have had delay after delay after delay on pretty much every project, so we're getting used to it. This is the one that had really bad hardwood, and we actually had good news on it. I think we're gonna be able to save this hardwood, so we'll show you that. We also redid the floor plan on this one a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit, so we'll have updates on that. And part of the kitchen is in, so we can show you that too as well. And this is a crazy one that we paid $90,000 over list price on. So we'll talk about that a little bit too, why we did that, and why I'm not sad about doing that, and it worked out pretty well for us. This is right across the street from a really nice park. So we've got that going for it. That's a really nice feature of this. And this one has green grass. I know a lot of people talk about our flips not having amazing landscaping, and that's true because most of them come with bad landscaping. And for the most part, it's not worth it for us to resod, put in sprinkler systems, do all of that. But if it already has a nice yard, we obviously try to keep it nice. And we ironically just drove by a flip we did a few years ago, the crazy flip we added onto, tore down part of it. And that was one of the few ones we put in a yard. We put in a front yard, a sprinkler system, and then we drive by it today and it's totally dead. Nothing left, it's gone. So it's like, oh man, the one house we put a yard in and it's just gone. Of course, check out investformore.com for much more information on flips, rentals, all that good stuff. We love the likes, so if you can move your thumb or finger a few inches on your phone, that'd be awesome to like our videos or comment. We love hearing comments too. All right, so we bought this house and it had this open area right here and we made it a bedroom. So you can see we added a closet, added this doorway, and when we started taking walls or trim off, we could see there used to be a door right here to another closet, and it used to be a door right here. So it actually originally was a bedroom. They just made it open space at one point. And here is some of the hardwood we talked about, and it's so pretty. Like this old stain that it's really hard to reproduce that color. Just looks amazing. But this is all covered with other hardwood. So they had another layer of hardwood that was kind of similar to this, like oak stuff, or I'm not sure exactly what it is. And it was just destroyed by animals. And we'll show some clips of it and definitely link to the before video. But they had just pretty much hung out on this hardwood and not gone outside to go to the bathroom for a long time. And it still kind of smells in here a little bit, but it's much better than it was. And so our hardwood guy, even though you've got those spots there that look really bad, and you've got this spot right here that I don't know what happened there, looks really bad, he said he can save it. So he's gonna patch in some of this old hardwood, refinish it, and we will be able to save it. So that's really good news because we just did the flood video of my rental property that flooded, and we weren't able to save that hardwood, unfortunately. But that was newer, kind of like this oak hardwood here, where this is the older, really cool stuff. And I don't even know if this is fir or something else, but it's just really pretty, really thick. So that's good news. And you can see here, we've had some people comment on, you know, the ceiling, the built-ins, what to keep, what not to keep. And it's funny, because I walk through houses and I literally don't see some of these things sometimes, like the built-ins. I kind of see them, but I don't pay attention to them. I'm more of a big picture person than a detail person. But yeah, they are kind of ugly, and we'll talk to Nikki, my project manager, and see, hey, do we want to keep all of them or get rid of them? Those built-ins that are attached to the mantle, like that's one piece. I think we definitely want to keep those there. But yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense to keep all those. We'll see. And then the ceiling, like it probably had 10-foot ceilings at one point, and then they dropped it because that doesn't look like plaster or sheetrock. That almost looks like particle board. They dropped it so they could put this weird ceiling panels in. So yeah, we could take all of this out, try and open it up, but there's usually a reason they drop the ceiling like this, and it's usually because the plaster above it is destroyed. So we will probably take the cheap way out and just replace that ceiling tile and leave it as is, because it's just usually not worth it to take all this out and hope that everything is good above it, or else you might be re-sheetrocking the entire ceiling and creating a giant mess. All right, and in here is our kitchen. So we had also talked about when we first bought this, the only access to the bathroom is through this bedroom and kind of what another bedroom is behind it. And then we have this big closet. So we talked about taking out this closet, adding a bathroom, reworking all kinds of things. But really, there's a couple factors that really come into play here when redoing floor plans and doing all that work. One, it's really expensive to move plumbing, move electrical, do all that, redo all the sheetrock. It just adds thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to the cost. And then on top of that, when you're moving bathrooms, moving major things, doing major work like that, you're bringing a whole lot of permitting issue into play as well. And so on these flips, if we can do stuff that's cosmetic, not structural, not moving major things around, we don't have to get permits on a lot of it. And if we do have to get permits, it just adds to the timeline, the expense. And then you have the city coming in here saying, oh, that's great, you're moving the bathroom, but you need to redo the entire electrical system because it's not quite up to code, or all of this heating needs to be redone, or all this other stuff needs to be redone. So it can just bring into a lot of other issues that, even though they're safe and in good working order, it's just a wild card. You don't know what they're going to say, not say. We have different things told to us at different times. We've had inspectors tell us to do one thing, we do that thing, and then all of a sudden the next inspector comes in and tells us, why did you do that thing? That's wrong. And we're like, well, your other inspector told us to do that. It's like, well, he shouldn't have. You have to do it this way now. So if we can avoid that whole issue, it just makes things go much smoother and much faster. So here is our kitchen. And like I said, we tried, we thought of ways to move into the closet, do all kinds of different things because, like I said, this kind of used to be a bedroom with a doorway. So your only access to the bathroom is through two bedrooms. But we're thinking, hey, we'll just leave it kind of an office type thing. And if people really want to use this as a bedroom, they can, but then we'll have another bedroom downstairs. So we'll still have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath with that new bedroom in front, but we just didn't want to go to the craziness of moving that bathroom around and still not having a really amazing floor plan. But this kitchen floor plan before was crazy. You had that wall, you had a much bigger window that we shrunk down, you had a little breakfast bar thing coming out here, but as you can see, we just simplified the design by shrinking that window so we could have counters there. There's your uppers. On this side over here, you've got cabinets too, so you should have plenty of counter space, much more workable, usable space, and this kitchen should be much better without having to redesign the whole house, which is often a key. And back here too, again, it's like, hey, you have this weird little nook area that a lot of older houses had. It has your, oh, I think we're gonna keep that ironing board, but I don't see it. Maybe it's taken down for painting, probably. But like, oh, you should move these stairs and add a real dining space and it's like, yeah, we could move these stairs. I don't know where exactly we'd move them because you still need a way to get downstairs. I guess you could like move your steps to the outside and then have to go outside to come back inside again. But then that's massively decreasing the value of the property. If you have to go outside to go to the basement, that's not a good thing. So there's lots of things you think about. At the same time, you're spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to move the stairs. So why create problems that we don't need to create? I mean, we can just leave it as it is. It's not the absolute perfect floor plan, but it still works. And I don't think I've ever looked in here. So look at that. Isn't that another fancy little built-in? One cool thing about old houses, they tend to have quite a few old built-ins and cool stuff. Down here, we've talked about too, and I think we showed you recently, but here's kind of what would be the new bedroom. Again, doing an egress down here to make it legal, and then have new big trim. The new big trim looks so good, and honestly right now, I think it's cheaper to do that than the smaller trim because prices are just weird for everything. But all these little tiny windows don't work well for a bedroom. Oh, long guys here. And then we'd also talked about these built-ins right here, and a lot of people, we talked about getting rid of them to make the bedroom bigger, and a lot of YouTube people said, oh, they're so pretty, don't do it. So I do listen once in a while, and I think we're gonna leave them. So I agree, maybe we'll leave them. We don't need to get rid of them. And then here's the weird closet thing we built, and I'm not super happy with this, but it is a closet. It's just tiny. This is a concrete wall. So I think we talked about it before, but that's why it's so thick. I think we could have shrunk it down a little bit, but these main walls right here are all concrete. So I think that back part of the house was all an addition. This was the original foundation, the original wall. This area right back here was all added onto at one point, maybe, or maybe, there's just like a little porch underneath it. Who knows? But you usually don't have these big concrete walls right in the middle of the basement. That's what we're going with. All right, so that is the inside of the house. Yes, again, another thing we could talk about. There's a drain, right? There's a sink. We could add a bathroom down here, right? You could, but that drain's not in amazing condition. You still have to bring plumbing in here, electrical in here, sheetrock, framing, all kinds of different stuff to make a bathroom. And it would probably take $5,000 at least, if not more, to put a bathroom in down here. And then again, you're bringing the permit issues into play because public records and different things will say, hey, it only has one bathroom, but then it magically shows up with 2 bathrooms. That's a big red flag as far as the permits go. So that just brings into a whole lot of other issues and things that they want upgraded, done. So again, even though it's not perfect or ideal, sometimes leaving houses similar to what they were before is a better play than completely redoing them and making them perfect. And a perfect example right now is a bar. We bought a bar last year and we've been remodeling it. And if we would have just left it the same, not mess with it, it probably would have been open for a while. But we decided to change the floor plan a little bit, redo it. And the county made us bring in an engineer, bring in an architect, and do all of these different things to make it work. And that just adds months and months and months and months, and literally more than $10,000 to the cost for just the architect and engineer to get that done. So yes, in a perfect world, you tear out the whole house, gut everything, make it perfect. But in the realistic world, that makes things take longer, cost more money, and doesn't add enough value to make it worthwhile. So this is what you get, which will be a nice house, a pretty house, just not the perfect house. And if somebody really wants to come through and make changes themselves, the cities and counties are actually usually more lenient with homeowners doing major changes than professionals, which I don't know how that makes sense, but that's how it works in a lot of these situations where if the homeowner is doing work, they won't require as much to be done or as many permits, but if a professional is, they require those permits. All right, I'm off my rant now. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you guys appreciate the videos. Like I said, if you do, we love the likes, love the comments, love the shares, love seeing new subscribers. Welcome if you are a new subscriber. We have much more information on my blog, investformore.com, a free book on there, hundreds of free articles on real estate investing, being an agent, wholesaling, flips, rentals, all that great stuff, and 9 books with a 10th book coming soon on Amazon. So my 10th book was actually an idea from YouTube too. So thank you for that, of all my crazy real estate stories. So the problem is I keep getting more and more crazy real estate stories, and I can't finish the books. I have to keep adding to them. So thank you guys for that. All right, we'll be back soon. Take care.